Hi, I'm Dr. Haley Perlus. Welcome to today's Mental Toughness Moment. The 2024 Paris Olympics have come to an end, and I want to take a moment to highlight 3 specific athletes and 3 mental toughness moments that I just think we can all use in our lives, no matter what you are pursuing. And I have a couple of notes because I want to make sure I get the stats right. But the first athlete that I want to highlight is actually not really a person, it's a horse by the name of Fisher Chipmunk, FRH. Now, Chipmunk is a 16-year-old horse that has been in sports and competition for a very long time. And it is just that athlete that has had many, many successes, 20 plus international successes, but can never really put it together when it, according to everyone, mattered most, which was an individual event, an individual championship. And this horse has definitely helped contribute to team wins, definitely had huge success in various competitions, European World Championships as well. Just couldn't put it together when, again, it mattered most, like an Olympics. And changed hands, it changed owners, this horse, and Michael Jung, who is an Olympian, 2-time Olympian before Paris, took Chipmunk under his reins, literally, and they started to team up together. And again, they had a lot of successes, specifically in the dressage event, and they contributed to team events. But again, they would always maybe start out first in dressage and then with show jumping or with cross country, make mistakes and then fall down lower on the scoreboard until this Olympics. And finally, Fisher Chipmunk was able to put it together. And not only did they win the individual gold medal, but Michael Jung also became the first 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and together they created a new Olympic record. Lesson. You might have the story of I can't. You may be working really hard. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Until one day you can. And that's the story of Fisher Chipmunk. If you keep chipping away, if you believe in yourself, if you have others believe in you, like Michael Jung believed in this horse, and you keep persevering, and you've got the skills, and you know, and you keep working at it, doing the work, the story of I can't will one day become the story of I can. And it is such a sweet victory and a real valuable lesson for all of us with regards to persistence and belief and continuing it again, not just to cross your fingers, but to chip away at the work. Learn what needs to be learned, finesse what needs to be finessed, keep at it. Second athlete I want to highlight is McLaughlin-Levrone. Now, she is an Olympic champion and has been. And not only that, but a world champion. And so she has had the success. And one of the reasons why she stays on top of the podium was because she trusts in her strategy and she doesn't change it unless it absolutely needs to be changed. So at these Olympics in Paris, she beat her own world record for the 6th time. And she now has 2 consecutive gold medals in the 400-meter hurdles. And in an interview, I heard her respond to the question of how do you do it? What's your strategy? And she said her strategy is to keep the strategy that got her here in the first place. She knows the tactics and techniques that work, and she commits to them, and she doesn't let anything outside or inside, any anxiety, change that. Sometimes I think when we get anxious, when we start to have a little bit of doubt, we start to distrust the strategy, and we start to question, and we start to make changes. Maybe we start to cut some corners. Not a good move. If you have a process that gets you success, unless you know for sure that there is another process that's going to give you even greater success, you stick to what you know works. And it takes discipline. So that's the skill of discipline. But it also takes the skill of just believing and trusting. And that's what McLaughlin-Levrone did. Third athlete that I want to highlight is Gabby Williams. Now, Gabby Williams is a female basketball player on the team France, and they earned the silver medal. But in the finals, in the gold medal game, it was right to the end. And France had an opportunity to tie the score, which would force overtime. And Gabby Williams got the ball and she threw and it went in the basket. It was brilliant, but her toe was not in the 3-point area. Her toe was, off the inside of the 3-point, and so she got 2 points instead of 3 points, which then gave the U.S. team the win. And it's a bummer, for sure. And the scoreboard is one way to measure your performance. They lost that game. They earned silver medal. But there's another way to evaluate Gabby's performance, or for her to evaluate her own performance, which will lead to unshakable confidence. That girl fought. That girl stayed focused right to the end. She gave it her all, every last ounce of effort she had. And she threw that ball, and she took that shot, and it got in the basket. Now the scoreboard again reflects 2 points, not 3 points, and so they didn't get the overtime and tie the game. But whoa, did she ever have a great, great final performance in those last few seconds. And so I'm hoping that Gabby Williams will look at that and evaluate her performance based on her tenacity, based on her dedication, her focus, and her ability to fight to the very, very end with a rather good shot. 3 lessons that we can learn from Fisher Chipmunk and Michael Jung. The story of I can't can very quickly become the story I can if you continue to persist and believe and chip away. Stay with it. Lesson number 2 from Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. When you have a strategy that works, unless you know for certain that there's a better one out there, when you have a strategy that works, you stay committed to it. What got you success in the first place, what got you here in the first place, will help you to stay here and achieve even more. And lesson number 3 from Gabby Williams, you fight until the bitter end, because there are 2 ways to measure your performance. 1, yes, with the results, but 2, with your individual commitment. And there you have persistence, you have discipline, you have focus, you have unshakable confidence, all of the things that we need to be the champions of our own lives. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave your question or comments in the space provided. Maybe you have a story you'd like to share, a learning lesson from the Olympics that you watched. Throw them in the comments section. Let me learn. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.